You open your phone to check one message. An hour later, you look up and wonder, where did the time go? This isn't a glitch. It isn't your fault. It's by design. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the tech industry's most disturbing silent crisis, one that is affecting millions of lives around the world. The addictive architecture of modern tech. When apps were first created, they were simple, a way to connect, share, and communicate. Today, they are engineered systems with machine intelligence that know what keeps you glued to the screen. Modern social media platforms use advanced algorithms designed to capture the longest possible attention span. Features like infinite scrolling, autoplay videos, personalized feeds, and real-time engagement metrics create digital feedback loops that stimulate the brain's reward system in the same way addictive substances do. You get a small dopamine release. You scroll again. Another suggestion appears. The next video loads instantly. And suddenly, hours have vanished. This is intentional. Internal sources and expert analysis indicate that many design elements are chosen not just to serve users, but to maximize engagement at any cost. Critics compare this to how tobacco companies once marketed cigarettes to maximize dependency. It's not eating at the edges of our attention. It's infiltrating our psychology. Social media addiction. What the research shows. According to a major study published in 2024, nearly a quarter of college students studied showed signs of addictive social media behavior. Those students also reported significantly higher levels of anxiety, depression, and psychological distress compared to those without problematic usage patterns. Social media addiction also correlated with insecure attachment styles and increased neuroticism, suggesting that deeper emotional patterns can interact with digital addiction in complex ways. Worldwide, surveys show massive engagement on social platforms, with billions of users spending hours every day scrolling. While social media can connect people, passive consumption, such as endlessly watching recommended content, is strongly linked to declines in emotional well-being and mood disturbances. Nighttime use, in particular, disrupts sleep and emotional regulation the next day. In simple terms, heavy use is associated with anxiety, depression, and mood instability. Passive consumption, not active interaction, is the most harmful pattern. Cyberbullying and constant comparison intensify stress. These patterns round out a picture of technology that is not just neutral infrastructure, but something deeply embedded in mental and emotional life. The real human costs, anxiety, depression, and more the emotional toll, isn't just a set of numbers on a graph. It's real. Mental health professionals now regularly see clients whose anxiety, self-esteem issues, insomnia, and compulsive habits are closely tied to their digital lives. In some cases, individuals report checking their phones dozens or even hundreds of times a day, not because they want to, but because the apps condition them to do so. According to statistical reports, up to 210 million people worldwide are estimated to be addicted to social media, with tens of millions showing compulsive use patterns that resemble dependency behavior. These are not isolated problems. This is a population-level issue, especially among younger users who grew up immersed in digital platforms. Landmark legal battles signal the damage is real. For the first time in history, tech companies are not only being criticized, but held legally accountable for the psychological effects of their products. In a landmark 2026 trial in Los Angeles, a jury ruled that Meta and Google, through Instagram and YouTube, were negligent in failing to warn users about mental health risks tied to addictive platform design. The plaintiff, who began using these platforms in early childhood, testified that compulsive use contributed to anxiety, depression, and self-harm tendencies. The court awarded over $6 million in damages. This ruling has been described as a watershed moment in tech accountability, a big tobacco-style turning point, and has triggered thousands of similar lawsuits nationwide. Human rights organizations hailed the decision, emphasizing that addictive design features like endless feeds and autoplay can harm young users. Others warn the verdict could prompt new regulatory frameworks aimed at protecting children and teens online. These cases are not marginal. They are growing rapidly and forcing society to confront the psychological consequences of digital design decisions. Why young people are especially vulnerable. Teens and young adults are often at the center of this silent crisis. Pew Research Center reports that many teens say social media has negative impacts on people their age, even if they personally feel both positive and negative effects. This ambivalence highlights the complex relationship young people have with these platforms. Research also suggests that developmental factors make younger users more susceptible to the emotional effects of digital platforms. Adolescents are still forming identities, social skills, and emotional regulation processes that social media can disrupt when engagement becomes compulsive. And internal research from technology companies themselves has revealed that parental controls and time limits are often insufficient to curb compulsive use among adolescents, especially during vulnerable periods of life. This means that even well-intentioned safeguards may not be enough without broader changes in how platforms are designed. Addiction isn't just a buzzword, it's a pattern of behavior. Many medical and psychological professionals hesitate to label social media addiction as a clinical disorder, but the behaviors look strikingly similar to other recognized forms of addiction. People with problematic digital use often show compulsive engagement patterns, difficulty cutting down usage, withdrawal when separated from screens, decreased focus on real-world interactions. These behaviors mirror addiction and can have deep emotional effects. A major longitudinal psychology study also found that depressive symptoms can mediate the relationship between excessive digital use and suicide-related outcomes across age groups, especially among younger adults, underscoring that this is not merely a casual correlation, but a significant public health concern. Beyond individuals, social and cultural impact. On a broader scale, widespread digital addiction influences how society functions. Workplaces report productivity drops linked to excessive social media use. Students struggle with concentration. Families find quality time replaced with reflexive screen checking. Social skills and attention patterns shift in ways that psychologists are only beginning to understand. The psychological cost goes beyond anxiety and depression. Constant comparison with curated online content can erode self-esteem. Cyberbullying, trolling, and negative feedback loops lead to social stress and emotional insecurity. These effects ripple outward, influencing relationships, career paths, and long-term emotional resilience. Tech companies are fighting back, but only partially. In response to mounting criticism and legal pressure, some technology platforms have begun experimenting with changes. Platforms have introduced features like screen time prompts, digital wellness tools, and content filters designed to limit exposure. However, research shows that many of these interventions have limited effectiveness when underlying engagement incentives remain the same. Parental controls often fail to alter deep usage patterns, and nudges to take breaks are easily dismissed by users. Critics argue that minor adjustments are insufficient when the core business model still relies on maximizing user engagement and advertising revenue that goes when people spend more time on screens. These commercial incentives continue to drive design choices that may harm psychological well-being. Can technology be part of the solution? The good news is that technology itself can be part of solving this crisis. Emerging digital well-being tools, AI-assisted usage tracking, and personalized feedback could help users understand their habits and choose healthier patterns. Apps focused on mindful use, rather than engagement, can support emotional resilience. But meaningful change may also require stronger public policy and regulation, platform design symmetry, favoring well-being over engagement, digital literacy education in schools, public awareness campaigns. Some experts also call for international standards or guidelines that hold tech companies accountable for psychological harm caused by addictive design features. This isn't about demonizing technology. It's about aligning its power with human flourishing instead of exploitation. If this video made you think differently about technology and its impact on mental health, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more important insights most people never hear. And now, I want to hear from you. Do you believe social media should be regulated to protect mental health? Or is self-control enough? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below.